Every 4 years, billions of us stop what we're doing for 90 minutes of magic. The World Cup is supposed to be football's greatest festival, but behind the confetti and the epic goals lies a vastly different world of boardrooms and backroom deals. To understand how those deals happen, you have to look at how FIFA is actually built. For decades, a single executive committee, a remarkably small group of officials, held total control over where the World Cup went. With that power came absolute authority over billions of dollars in potential revenue and influence. Critics argue this highly centralized model, combined with limited external oversight, created an environment ripe for self-enrichment. In fact, U.S. prosecutors alleged that certain officials took advantage of that exact structure over a 24-year period. We are talking about an organization that dictates the future of the world's most beloved international event, yet historically operated with the secrecy and minimal oversight of an exclusive private club. That secrecy shattered on May 27, 2015. In a luxury hotel overlooking the Zurich skyline, U.S. law enforcement arrived unannounced, plunging football's governing body into its biggest modern crisis. The Department of Justice unsealed a 47-count indictment targeting 14 current and former FIFA officials and marketing executives. The charges included racketeering, wire fraud, and money laundering conspiracies, detailing over $150 million in alleged bribes and kickbacks. But here is a vital distinction. Hundreds of millions of dollars and global conspiracies make for dramatic headlines, but they are still legal claims under review. An indictment is an accusation, not instant proof that every named individual was corrupt. The 2015 raids exposed deep vulnerabilities in the sport's governance. To see what really happened, we have to move past those initial shockwaves and carefully examine the evidence, file by file. In 2010, FIFA's executive committee made two defining choices. They awarded the 2018 World Cup to Russia and the 2022 tournament to Qatar. Almost immediately, those two votes became the center of a massive corruption debate. A cascade of allegations followed. Reports from the Sunday Times claimed a secret Qatari fund was used to bribe football officials. 10 years later, the U.S. Justice Department went further, explicitly alleging that representatives for both Russia and Qatar paid bribes to at least 5 FIFA executive committee members to secure their votes. The pushback from the host nations was fierce. Qatar's organizing committee entirely dismissed the claims, calling them baseless attempts to interfere with their preparations, and stressing that the individuals accused held no formal role in their official bid. This creates a strict legal reality. Despite widespread public assumption of foul play, no criminal conviction has definitively established that the Russia or Qatar bids were won through bribery. Legally speaking, these remain highly contested claims. If the boardroom votes are one side of the story, the physical construction of the tournament is the other. Building the infrastructure for Qatar 2022 required a massive workforce, leading to an emotionally charged debate over the human cost. This chart illustrates the vast disparity in reported numbers. Qatar's Supreme Committee has officially reported exactly 3 work-related deaths directly tied to stadium construction sites, but broader metrics paint a starkly different picture. A widely cited investigation by The Guardian estimated at least 6,500 migrant worker deaths since 2010. Meanwhile, Qatar's own national statistics show 15,021 total non-national deaths over a similar period. The conflict lies in how these numbers are classified. Human Rights Watch argues Qatari authorities hide worker fatalities under broad labels like natural causes. Qatari officials insist the media takes their entire national mortality rate for foreign residents and falsely attributes all of it directly to World Cup construction. Multiple NGOs and media outlets have highlighted serious labor concerns, but because there is no universally accepted metric strictly separating tournament-related deaths from general population mortality, the true human cost remains a fiercely debated estimate. If you only followed the headlines, you might assume every top FIFA executive ended up in prison. Consider the case of former FIFA president Sepp Blatter and former UEFA president Michel Platini. Both faced severe scrutiny over a 2 million Swiss franc payment authorized by Blatter. Prosecutors called it unfounded, but the two men insisted it was a legitimate, albeit informally documented, gentleman's agreement for previous consultancy work. After years of public condemnation, Swiss courts completely acquitted both men in 2022 and again on appeal in 2025. The judges found absolutely no evidence to support the fraud allegations. The formal clearing of FIFA's most senior figures complicates the entire narrative. It proves exactly why we use words like allegedly. Treating accusations as facts ignores actual judicial outcomes. Following Blatter's departure, Gianni Infantino took over as FIFA president in 2016. He arrived with immediate promises to clean house and install strict new governance safeguards. This diagram outlines their structural solution. FIFA points to key changes, like bringing in outside administrators, such as Fatma Samora, and deliberately separating the organization's commercial functions from its regulatory oversight. FIFA maintains these reforms are working. Outside commentators, however, argue the organization has simply rebranded, suggesting the current culture remains heavily influenced by political proximity rather than robust internal oversight. A full decade after the hotel raids, the objective reality of FIFA's internal culture is still fiercely debated. It is a matter of highly polarized opinion rather than an established fact. We are left looking at two very different realities. Extensive, well-documented law enforcement investigations into bribery exist side by side, with firm sovereign denials and definitive high court acquittals. Navigating this requires holding two complex thoughts at once. We can demand better oversight and stronger protections for workers, while still strictly respecting legal due process and the presumption of innocence. As the tournaments continue, the lingering question is whether the governing body has actually changed its nature, or simply evolved to protect the prize. The emotion we feel for football is real, but if we truly love the game, our responsibility is to never stop questioning the system that profits from it.